Hi there, Scorpio. Hope you guys had a great January, or are having a great January if you're watching this in January. So as I was meditating on your cards, out popped the Empress. Okay, so we'll get to that in the context of the rest of your spread. But the feeling that I was getting as I was shuffling was almost this sort of depiction of someone opening a box, okay, that they hadn't opened for quite some time. Okay, almost like the opening of a really old album or something of that sort, right? Sort of slowly peeking inside. Right? And seeing sort of what has happened even to the contents of that box. Okay, and this can be even, you know, it can even, this just came up for the Pisces end of February reading, okay? And the Empress also came up in the Pisces reading. So just as an aside, this was in the exact position for Pisces in reverse in their near future, which is going to be February, because I was reading for their end of January. And this was in reverse in their energetic pathway that they were moving into. Okay. So now, yes, I'm getting the feeling definitely of opening a box that previously, right, you haven't let sort of open, that you haven't allowed sort of this even transformation, right, from old actions, past actions, old sort of even ruminations, right? There is definitely the contrast and theme that's being highlighted here between sort of the underbrush, right? What we've set aside, the shadows, and this element of freedom, okay, of moving forward, of transformation, right? Like the butterfly rising from the cocoon, really the chrysalis effect, okay? So an element of transformation, right? Of sort of from this past, otherwise neglected, to sort of seeing the beauty even in whatever used to be, okay? So definitely a transformation of some sort. And it can even be, I was going to say before as well, before this popped out, right before this popped out, I was going to say, even, you know, it obviously doesn't have to be a tangible box or thing, but it can even just be in the recesses of your mind, okay? So a sort of revisiting, reopening of a dialogue, even I'm hearing a dialogue, okay, of past, otherwise cast aside notions, feelings, associations even, okay? So perhaps a rekindling of the fire, okay? Wands speak to fire, the fire element. And this is very much a transformative card, right? Where the butterfly is rising from the sort of pile of ashes, pile of rubble, unused wands, Okay, unspoken, undone. Yes, definitely a theme of wands, of fire. Culmination of a past situation. Culmination of old, past, right? Long gone, long drawn out efforts and ruminations, right? I'm feeling that a lot of things are coming to a head, coming to a point of clarity, of decision, of knowing what you want to do. Wow, definitely Scorpio. And I believe this is your card, right? Death. The transformation in and of itself in a very significant way. Letting go of old actions, really. The final stage, this is a 10, culmination. The final stage. Okay. Allowing for the putting aside and the death of this past actions. Sorry about that, guys. Ben, what's going on? Huh? 1 second. All right, so, and we're gonna do the Celtic Cross today. I don't think I even mentioned that because I just felt so much before I was shuffling even on camera that I needed to say it. And see, there's so much coming out here. I mean, another Wands card, right? Speaking of action, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm sensing a lot coming out on the table. A lot coming to the table. There's a certain realism with which you are looking at the past actions that have been sort of even set aside, cast aside, let to sit in the shadows, okay? There is absolutely a coming to table, a resurfacing, a surfacing of even clarity, right? Of how to proceed within this sort of journey as a whole, okay? And this Two of Wands speaking to, this is the first sort of card of color where these wands are rather focused, right? Whereas these are sort of set aside and there's chaos, right? Amongst the sort of otherwise passionate, fiery energy. Here, again, we sort of have this revisiting to, even perhaps revisiting to sort of the foundation, what went wrong in the decision, in the planning, right, that led to this sort of situation here of past efforts. Okay, and this Death card is looking right over at this Two of Wands. This could even be the sort of relaying of the foundation, okay? But in reverse, right? Working from the past into the future and back, relaying the foundation, letting whatever happened here die and pass away, and instead look in a more hopeful way towards the reconstruction of the new path forward. Okay. Definitely, there's a clarity, there's, yes, clarity for sure. For sure, there, I'm getting a sense of like cleansing, clearing out, right, the debris, the dead house, okay? Oh yeah. There's a breath of fresh air that's being taken. That's what I'm getting, right? Opening that box and letting the contents in there breathe. Oh, definitely, definitely. Yes. Okay, Scorpio, you're ready here. We're gonna do the Celtic cross. So many cards here popped out, so we'll keep these still sort of at bay here, and we'll speak of the Empress. I believe it has to do with the grander context of your spread, so let's wait on that. Okay. We're gonna do the Celtic cross, same layout as the last month. Here in your deep past, you're gonna have the very first card that starts out the spread, leading to your recent past, then your current state, your advice position, near future, hopes and or fears, final outcome, crowned with 3 energetic cards, the first being the energy that you stepped into and really harnessed that helped lead you to your current state, then your energetic environment card, which really speaks to the energies that lay at your feet, right? And how conducive your environment is, if it's conducive, and in what way to the sort of other energies that you're bringing forward into the month. Then thirdly, up here at the top, we're gonna have the energetic pathway that you're moving into, okay? So let's give it one last bit of a shuffle, even though I feel like you're ready. I feel like in many ways you are ready. In many ways you are ready. Yes, Scorpio, I'm getting that strongly, okay? So this is something that you're taking a deep breath, you're gonna do, you wanna do, right? You are sort of facing whatever fears you might have had in the past about this, okay? And here we go. Deep past, recent past, current state, yep, current state, advice. Wow, Scorpio, my goodness, how many wands? All fire this month, all fire. And this reading is pertaining to the first 2 weeks of February, right? Of course, oops, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Let's go with it. Let's go with it, okay? Let's go right with that. This reading is pertaining to the first 2 weeks of the month, okay? But of course, there's no definite deadline, okay, even to those times. I don't really believe in that sort of the time that ends and begins, right? Energy is very fluid, so it can speak to sort of the very tail end of January and the beginning of January, moving into the mid portion of February. So if I said that in a confusing manner, the end of January leading into the beginning of February and the mid-February, right? So, okay. Here we go. Very ready, Scorpio. This is the near future. This is your hopes and or your fears. Final outcome. Ooh, Scorpio, you had the same card in your last reading in the same position. However, it's now in reverse. Okay, so just keep that in mind. A lot of signs have been getting this card in this position in January, okay? From what I do remember. This is your environment position. This is the energy that you stepped into that helped lead you to your current state. And this is the energetic pathway that you're moving into. This is the theme of the reading, okay? The High Priestess in reverse, the most intuitive card in the deck, okay? Highly intuitive, highly. Speaking of really connecting with your intuition on something, okay? really connecting. And I mean, this card here, this card here, and this card here, even the Empress, all speak to the sort of comfort, right, in residing in one's intuition and inner knowing. Okay, there's a certain peace and harmony that's had amongst the dark, amongst the stars, right, in the night, under the moonlight, where there is inherently a sense of mystery, and yet there is still an enchantment even, right? Transfusing and transforming the element of darkness and mystery, of not knowing, right, with stability of intuition and connectedness with the universe. Okay, that message is coming very strongly. So, and beneath the two of, this is a two, so the two of the major arcana, beneath the High Priestess, you have the Eight of Cups in reverse, and beneath that you have the, lots of cups here, Scorpio, the Seven of Cups in reverse. And beneath that you have the Emperor. Wow. A pair. A pair. This could be speaking to someone. I'm feeling this could be speaking to someone. This could be representing you, the basis, the foundation of your journey and of your sort of movement forward, okay, your stance. But underneath it all, okay, underneath it all, almost hidden, stacked, layers, right? Almost like the hidden container, right? That I was feeling you're sort of opening up now. There's almost like a suffocation I'm feeling even, right? With this Emperor underneath all of this energy. This is heavy emotional energy, heavy residual energy, even, right, from the past. With the 8 and the 7 in succession, in reverse, past emotional trauma, past discontentment with confusion, right? Confusion with the moon, with an emotional place, even in the world or in a situation, okay? Needing to follow your intuition, okay? Now taking this sort of approach. Underneath it all lies sort of your stance, the solitary stance, okay? And one that is sort of mirroring its pair of the Empress, which seems to be distant, right? The Emperor and the Empress are distant. So it could be someone that you are literally physically far from, but that you feel very connected to, right? These two are a pair, okay? The Emperor and the Empress, but they are distant. They're almost like bracketing the frame of the spread, okay? Let me make sure that we're recording. Okay, excellent. So, yes. And you have the Empress, which is a 3, the number 3. You have another 3 here. You have another 3 here. Oh, yeah. And you have the 2 here, right? Of the High Priestess. So there is an importance that's placed on stepping into, right, this sort of guidance, right? Allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition, right? When it comes to an emotional standstill. This is a standstill. Okay? This is a standstill of stagnant, emotional, right? The sort of the boxing up of emotions, right? Not communicating emotions, okay? Being confused even about, right? All of whatever happened, okay? These 8 of Cups are shattered, right? And it's in reverse. So this energy is not being expressed, and all of this unexpressed energy is sort of stowed and placed on top of the Emperor, which is sort of, I feel it speaking to your being, okay? I believe this is representing you. Okay, sort of the covering up of who you really are. That's what I'm feeling, okay? The covering up of sort of this, of your truth even, okay? Okay. So now, and I was saying the High Priestess is a number 2, the Empress is a number 3. We're going from a 2 to a 3. And really, right, this 2 is preceding this 3, this 3, this 3. Okay, that really is telling me that stepping into this energy, right, of being very much in tune, following, right, your sense of inner guidance and wisdom, trusting your intuition will be the purveyor and the sort of opening of the floodgate to this stability in terms of rebuilding a foundation of some sort, as we revisited here. The portal sort of energy of moving into a new form of existence, and ultimately bringing you to the Empress in some shape or form, okay? Both of these cards have moons on them. This is a very intuitive, psychic connection. Very much so. Okay, but this moon is facing that way and this moon is facing this way. It's almost like they're not meeting eye to eye. The intuition is being distanced in some shape or form, and this too needs to go upright in order for it to guide you towards the progress, right? And ultimately the Empress. Okay. So everything is sort of standing on this energy, right? That needs to be harnessed, it seems. Now, aside from that, again, you have so much fire energy, Scorpio. I think you have almost every single fire card here. Almost. You have this. You have the 8 of Wands. You have the 5 of Wands. You have the 3 of Wands. You have the Daughter of Wands. Okay. You have the 6 of Wands. You have the 10 of Wands, and you have the 2 of Wands. So we've got almost a full house of Wands and fire energy. Okay, speaking to, again, actions, initiative, movement forward, decisions with what we want to do, right? The fire beneath our butt that just launches us forward and gets us really going in a certain direction. Now, aside from Wands, you also have a prominence of sword energy, okay? You have the 8 of Swords, and you have an 8 and an 8, 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, and I believe this card came out in your last reading as well. Then you have a 6 of Swords, a 4 of Swords, okay? Yes, almost overlaid, right? Thoughts and actions, thoughts and actions. Sorry, actions and thoughts, actions and thoughts. Actions and thoughts, right, are so very linked. So very linked. Your actions are so tied to, in a way, the logical processes that are going on within the back of your mind, right? You're really thinking through your actions. Very much so. You're seeing them in the context of your logical analysis of whatever it is. Okay. Now let's get to the reading here. And I will say this: you have the Mother of Cups, right? Almost the ultimate archetype, the sort of grand manifestation of water energy that is mature, that is tempered. Again, that's tied to intuition very strongly, right? One that is very much in tune with their emotions and their, again, inner guidance, inner knowing, okay, about a situation. So that could be speaking to the High Priestess, even the Empress, the Star as well, and these two Cups cards right here, okay? Let me make sure we're recording before we begin. All right. So let's get right into it, Scorpio. Coming in from your deep past, you have the Daughter of Wands in reverse. Okay. So this could be a sort of position and approach with which you've wanted to move forward, that you would, with which you've wanted to take action, right, towards something. And I'm taking note of this wand. On it are these growths, right, of flowers, right? And the color tone is so similar to the outer glow, right? This magenta violet hue that's outlining the Empress card. Okay. So it's almost as if you wanted to take action, right, within something that regarded whoever this is, this Empress energy. Could be a person or even a situation, even a manifestation of another half, another part to yourself, right? Whereas the Emperor is more sort of the masculine energy, right, of a person. Let's say the Empress is the more nurturing, fertile, right, creative, mothering even sort of archetype. It's the yin and the yang. So this could be speaking to also, right, if it's not a person, it could be speaking to sort of the bringing together of both halves of yourself, right, coming in tune with your masculinity and your femininity. Okay, could be potentially, but I'm really feeling that this is a person. Okay, now moving forward, the Daughter of Wands, right, in reverse. So I'm seeing this as the desire to take action towards something that regards the Empress. I'm almost even seeing this as sort of like almost a rose, right? Not a rose, but sort of a rose, an offering, okay? And one that is has a lot in store for the future, right? One that has these budding flowers, right? So this could be the consideration, the contemplation, right? The desire, again, to take action towards bringing something into fruition. Okay, something that you wanted to harness, something that you wanted to really approach directly in a very confident way, right? Wands speak to the fire element, speak to confidence, speak to boldness, right? Action forward, initiative. It's a very enterprising energy, okay? But there's a softness even, right, to this Daughter of Wands card. It's not the Son of Wands. The Son of Wands is more sort of chit-chat talker type, right? The Daughter of Wands, there's a certain softness, okay? A certain sensitivity even with which this Daughter of Wands takes its action, okay? There's a subtlety. But I'm zeroing in on the figure 8, right? That the Daughter of Wands is making, that's coiled about this wand. And it's also making me feel that your plans, right? How you have been thinking to take action towards whatever this is very much tied to your belief, okay, of it being something that is destined. Okay, figure 8 speaking to destiny, right? The universal law. The universe at play. Right? There's a certain inner knowingness even, right? It's sort of like the preface of the action that you are to take with the wand, right? Like, yes, this is how I am and why I am moving forward with this, right? It's the sort of impetus, the reason behind it. That's the feeling I'm getting with this card here, okay? Now, so again, right, it could be speaking to the sort of psychic connection, the feeling of destiny even. Wanting to take action, wanting to offer something. However, the journey sort of never started, right? The action was never really taken. This Daughter of Wands is in reverse. So it's sort of this looming, right, desire to take action, but almost the sort of pending nature to those plans. Okay, I'm seeing this as plans. The plans to take action, right? Being delayed in some shape or form, okay? Now, in your recent past, you have the 8 of Swords. Okay, so moving into the more cerebral, intellectual approach of whatever it is. I'm feeling that, see, this card here really reminds me of this card here. Now, why? Not because necessarily they are depicting the same scenario, but in that they both depict the sort of reference to transformation, to the potential for transformation, right? To the even juxtaposition of this element of freedom, okay, escape, rising up from an otherwise sort of gridlock situation, right? One that keeps you pinned in and locked up and closed in, right? Or sort of stuck amongst the brush, right? There's a feeling of flight, of the desire to rise above past actions. However, it's in reverse yet again, right? So perhaps it's a desire. It's a desire. Just as this is a desire. Okay? The desire for transformation, but feeling locked in, perhaps due to your own thoughts, or, okay, this is, I'm getting this very clearly, this is over-dependence on the analysis, the intellectualization, the intellectual analysis of whatever the situation is. Okay? Fire burning inside, waiting to be harnessed, moving forward on this new journey, but being completely gridlocked, locked in, right? The natural process not being able to take place because of almost this sort of, again, suffocation, right? Suffocation. This feeling of being pinned, right? In a certain stage or phase of the journey. Okay? This chrysalis, this cocoon, right? This butterfly awaiting flight is suspended from this sword above it. Okay, so these can represent your thoughts, or the fear of opening your eyes, waking up from a situation and finding sort of adversity or difficulty, difficult conversation, expectations, lots of questions, right, from people around you. Okay? The resistance to your transformation and change, perhaps that is your fear and what's holding you in this sort of encaged suspension, right, of progress. That's the feeling I'm getting, okay? And beneath the Emperor here, you have the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, so there is suspension being alluded to in 2 cards. Okay? But we'll get more to that in just a bit. Now, right, so the oscillation between action, the desire for action, but not quite taking it, and the suspension due to overwhelming mental analysis and dissection in your recent past. Okay? And in your current state, you have the 8 of, and I want to say this as well, sorry, with this 8 of Swords, right, this could even be your own doing, okay? Placing yourself, having many expectations around yourself even, right? Overwhelming self-expectation, okay? The fear of, what if I fly? What if I open my eyes from the situation and I just go for it? What if I take this stand? What if I do this, right? What if? It's the what if, right? These thoughts just popping up everywhere. Okay, but you're relying on that. You're relying on your mental analysis of the situation, right? It's sort of, that's what's guiding you, or what has been guiding you in this otherwise natural stage, okay? The transformation from passivity, stagnancy, to flight, movement, change, and transformation, okay? This is a natural process, nature. Swords are very sort of man-made, right? They are used upon the will of man, right? The decisions are made, the thoughts are had, right? It's a very controlled sort of energy, whereas nature is uncontrolled and uncontrollable, right? So there's this gridlock between allowing the natural flow of a process and encaging yourself, forcing yourself almost, right? Pinning yourself in, not allowing that process to really take place, okay? Now, you're then moving up into the energy that you harness, which is the star in reverse, and that's leading right down to the 8 of Wands. Okay, we're going from an 8 of Swords to an 8 of Wands. 8, 8. So, now, there's a lot going on here, but whereas this is stagnancy, right, the holding in and the keeping in place, this is the sort of the shock factor, right? The bolt of lightning, the strike that just sets all order into chaos in a way, right? It's the unexpected. Whereas you're trying to hold something in and maintain it, right? This is sort of nature's doing, right? You cannot control lightning, right? It's not something you can think through, that you can logic through. It's unexpected, okay? So, right, again, speaking to this sort of juxtaposition between the controlled and the uncontrollable, right? Moving up into the star energy in reverse, it's this sense of perhaps, again, this desire for flight, this desire for freedom from being held down by your thoughts. Okay, the desire to take an intuitive approach, but perhaps not yet having the confidence to do that, right? It's the slow, it's the gradual foray into this sort of territory of being sort of more at one and at peace with the progression, right, of the universe and its inherent harmony, right? Its inherent natural process, right? What's meant to be will happen, sort of thing. Opening up more to that, wanting to open up more to that. This feeling of wanting to sort of let go, let your wings fly so you can flutter up. But there's still this feeling of, right, this reversal, this not yet stepping into it. I'm getting the feeling that you know deep down, you know what it is you need to do. The only difficulty, right, and you know what you want to do. The only difficulty that's holding you back are your thoughts, okay, and the actual stepping into the acceptance of this energy. Okay, that is what is sort of the factor, right, that precedes movement forward and transformation. Okay, but I feel that you do know, you're aware of it on some level, deeply you are. I mean, Scorpio is a very intuitive sign, right, generally. So there's this feeling underneath it, this knowing of what needs to be done, but feeling almost helpless, vulnerable, okay, in light of your sort of mental analysis of the situation, okay? And I'm seeing this also as almost like a forced, imposed sort of expectation of predictability upon something that is not predictable. Okay, the natural process of life and nature, that natural transformation, this birth, right? needs to happen. It needs to happen. It will happen. Okay, it will happen. But it's like, don't fight it in a way, right? Don't fight it. So now let's go up into this energy here. You have the Star in reverse leading right down to this Eight of Wands upright. I'm seeing this as the color tone on these two cards are very similar, first of all, okay? This Star is so colorful, and it's almost as if the Star is leading right down into the lightning bolt, which is the same color tone, okay? So it's almost like, even if you're resisting, you haven't yet fully stepped into the Star, right? I'm feeling almost like a wariness, a lack of confidence with moving forward with just following your hopes and your dreams and your true desires. True desires. It's almost as if nature is going to take the situation into its own hands, even if you want to consider this like fate or destiny, right? The lightning strike, it was just meant to happen at the time it did, where it did, right? So it's almost as if, even in light of this sort of energy that you hope to step into but haven't yet really, the natural course of things, of the process, right, of what is meant to happen sort of in the situation, depending on what belief you subscribe to, is going to take place. Like, you can try to hold it back, but it's gonna happen. That's the feeling that I'm getting. The Star is even in reverse, right? It's flying right down into your current state, almost igniting, right, this lightning bolt that's striking the very center of this neat array of wands. Okay, so this is a sort of revitalization, right? Something is going to sort of propel you, is going to inspire you to really take charge, right? Charge, lightning, charge of the situation, right? That you've sort of not been taking full action with. Okay, it's the almost forced revisiting. Okay, as we also saw here, right? With the Two of Wands in reverse, the Ten of Wands upright, etc., right? The revisiting of the need to take a closer look at our actions, at what was done, okay? Really bringing it into focus, seeing where it all aligns, okay? And changing the way that we act and the way we move forward, right? What was old will now be changed. Absolutely, Scorpio. And you have death there, right in between all those Wands cards, right? Especially the Ten of Wands, right? An old situation or the way that you viewed, right, past actions will be taken a closer look at, re-examined, okay? And even reformed, okay? Now you're moving into the Six of Swords. So again, action, thought, action, thought. The Eight of Swords, the Six of Swords. Now, this is your advice position. It's speaking to sort of the need, and this is what I'm feeling, the need to rise from old ways, rise from the reliance on your intellectualization of the situation, rise, you see this rainbow, rise with the Star. It's like bringing you back up into this higher octave, right? That really taps into and speaks to your hopes and your dreams, right? Your intuition, what feels so true to you, so real to you on a very deep level. Okay, it's saying rise above all of this crap in a way. Rise above this, fly up like the butterfly. Scorpio, the phone died. Okay, I was saying, the rising up like the butterfly that you are, right? Flipping this right side up, flying up from this old situation, this past, okay? And really allowing yourself to step more into the energy of the High Priestess and the Star. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now, in your near future, you have the Three of Wands. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. This is speaking to the transformation precisely. It's speaking to the sort of reformulation of wands, right? Using the wands now in a way that is constructive, in a way that serves you. 3 is a very stable number, right? It's forming stability, the triangle. Now, right, whereas the wands here, right, it's just almost an excess of wands, right? It's a redundancy sort of feeling. Here, there's a very creative energy that's present, okay? It's taking the wands and it's almost creating, right, with a vision of the future and with your intuition, right? And one that is in a way magical, enchanted, open-minded. I'm seeing this really as open-minded as well, okay? Stepping into, right, this new existence, this next stage, okay? Even if you are just envisioning it in your mind, preparing sort of the entry into this new world, this new sort of manifestation, okay, in a way. And I'm seeing these lines in the background as sort of the, very much like the lines on the Swords cards, right? Speaking of sort of the mind, the mental analysis, the white noise. Leaving that behind, piercing through sort of all of that white noise, all of those previous thoughts, and into this more creative, magnanimous space, right? One that is very much one of color, one of hopes and dreams and optimism even, okay? Open-mindedness. So, right, and the color palette as well is very similar, okay? So, really speaking to the manifestation, the harnessing, finally, of this energy, of the star, okay, that's what I'm feeling. Okay, now, in your hopes and or your fears, you have the Four of Swords. So, again, we have action, thought. Going back here. Thoughts, right? Thoughts. So perhaps you are afraid. Right, now let's look at this card again. You have the Three of Wands. This is not yet quite moving through the portal, moving through. It's almost like the preparation phase, right? Setting up your wands in such a way, right? Having the vision, seeing where you want to go, having the optimism, seeing where it can go, okay? But still being sort of an observer, okay? Not yet stepping straight into it, perhaps. So the Four of Swords, right? And you're going from a 3 to a 4. The Four of Swords could be the sort of fear of being encaged by, again, your thoughts. The thoughts coming down on you, holding you down, right? Suppressing this sort of otherwise optimism, right? The sun on the lamb's face. The lamb is like almost unsuspecting of the thoughts. The thoughts are sort of creeping up on the lamb, right? The swords. So it's almost as if your fear can be that you're ready, you're hopeful, you want to move forward into this new transformative passage, right? But you're afraid, right, of the looming sort of potential onslaught, so to speak, of this cerebral mental energy, right? Coming down on you, okay? Again, the sort of, the butting of heads between intellectual energy and sort of one that is free-spirited, open-minded, youthful, juvenile, right? The containing of something that is otherwise free and expansive, okay, and light. All right. So, your fear perhaps is that this situation is going to persist, right? This sort of angulation. That's the feeling I'm getting. Angulation, being forced into an angle, right? Swords are very angular. They're very sharp. So perhaps the fear of being pinned down and at the mercy of your thoughts yet again, okay, in light of this optimism, okay, so you're fearing this sort of the interplay between these two elements yet again, okay? Now, and the oscillation, I'll say, okay, the oscillation, the flipping, right? Not being able to pursue your hopes and or your fears or the optimistic approach, right? Just feeling weighed down by your thoughts, okay? Could be your potential fear. Now, moving into your final outcome, you have the Mother of Cups in reverse. Now, I'm seeing this as a few things, but I want to get back to this energy. Let's move up into the crowning energy here quickly. You have the Five of Wands in reverse in your environmental position. I see this as sort of a distracting energy, right? Distracted efforts, right? So many ways that you can possibly move forward in a certain situation, right? So many options, right? I could do this, I could do that, I could do things like this, I could do things like that. It's almost like losing your mind a little bit over the sort of abundance or even the rushed feeling, okay? Feeling even maybe a little bit unprepared. Now, but this is in reverse, right? The Five of Wands is in reverse. And it's in your environment, okay? And if you look at this card, it has the same sort of element of chaos, of haphazardness, than the Ten of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords, even somewhat the Eight of Wands, right? There is sort of a feeling of let me tune in here. These are the only two cards, actually also this one, that are like cornered in, right? By sort of the edges of the card, okay? A feeling of sort of being boxed in some shape or form, okay? This is forming foundation, right? Forming the box, but one that is aimed and geared towards bringing about stability, right? It is the Three of Pentacles, earth element, speaking to stability. Let me make sure we are recording. All right, great. Right? But these two, this is sort of boxed in against your will or even against your knowing. This is sort of being involved in a situation, caught up in a situation, right? That has you distracted, right? That's pulling you from different angles that you are inherently involved in, that you must be involved in some way, right? Being constricted, right? within a situation that can be pulling and tugging at your energy strings, so to speak. Okay. But it's in reverse. It's in reverse. Let me get back to this. I feel we need to move into this one first, okay? So, in your energetic pathway that you're moving into, you have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so forming the foundation, the basis, okay, of something that is going to, you hope, bring you long-term benefits and tangible reward. Perhaps speaking to the Empress, wanting to build something stable, right? One that is slow moving, one that reinstates the foundation and the basis upon which this mountain is built, upon which this tree of the Empress is built. So it could be wanting to build something with this Empress, okay? Or if it is speaking to the more nurturing side of you, right? It could be speaking to wanting to bring in stability within yourself, right? Bringing the Empress and the Emperor together, the yin and the yang. Nonetheless, though, it's a slower energy, and it's the only Pentacles card that we see on the spread here. Okay, whereas all the other energy is fire, wands, very fast-moving energy. The Earth is a slow approach. Okay, the harvest happens according to the natural cycle of nature, right? Planting the seeds, waiting for them to grow, watering them, the cycles, okay, the cycles. Again, a feeling that we cannot control. We cannot control nature, right? So, in a way, right, rebuilding the foundation with the Empress or within yourself, right? Cultivating a greater sense of cohesion and stability by reestablishing the foundation in a way that's firm, that's slow, but that's really geared towards long-term reward, harvest, benefit, okay, and manifestation. And in your environment, you have the reversed Five of Wands. So I'm feeling almost that your environment is allowing you to slowly remove, right? Distraction. Remove sort of this scattered sort of output of energy. Okay, upright, it speaks to that, right? Being very scattered with our efforts and our output. The Three is very stable. It's very well formed. It's very procedural almost, right? The same with the Three of Wands. There's a certain feeling of coming together in a way that is very firm. Okay, there's foundation. But your environment, right, speaks to the element of sort of perhaps past distraction. Maybe your environment in the past was distracting, or it still could be, but it is sort of lessening. It could be lessening. Let me tune in here. There could be a form of chaos in your environment. There could be a form of chaos in your environment that you are doing away with. Perhaps. Again, the letting go of past predicaments where your energies were scattered, right? Now being reformed and retuned to be more well thought out and connected to intuition and what really matters to you. Okay, I'm seeing it as yes, 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 yes. The revisiting of this energy, of Wands energy, reinventing the way that you do things, reinventing the situation, reinventing the way you use your wands, right? I'm getting this as old energy, old energy in reverse, falling out, replaced by near future, 3 of Wands, right? Almost reinventing, right? Even with this, reinventing, reinvigorating, right? Our actions and the step we're taking. Okay, the meaning behind our actions. Here, right, with the 5 of Wands, it's almost as if we don't know what we're doing, we're just doing, almost, right? There's no color on this card. It's almost even driven by the mind, by the sort of intellectual justification for doing things, right? Like, I need to do this because, sort of speaking to this, right, with these lines, the white noise of the mind. So it could be speaking to a past situation where you were doing things based on intellectual reasons that is now falling out and being replaced by the harnessing and the fusion of action, taking action in a way that regards your intuition and your hopes and your dreams, true hopes, right? True desires. Okay? Moving forward, looking onto the future, towards what you want to bring into manifestation, and taking an approach that is very grounded, stable, focused, okay, clean, exact, right? Not haphazard, okay? And you're moving into, in your final outcome, the Mother of Cups in reverse. So it could be the gradual rehandling of past emotional residue, right? Or distraught sort of feeling, right? This feeling of being distraught in terms of your emotional world around you. Now stepping into, right? And slowly though, right? You have the High Priestess in reverse, you have the Mother of Cups in reverse, you have the Star in reverse. It's a slow foray into the taking on of this new persona, right? Being more in command of your emotions, even offering your emotions. Okay, it's right below the Empress, so it could be offering of emotions to the Empress, the opening up of otherwise bottled, stowed emotional baggage, residue, okay? Perhaps. And the Mother of Cups is looking in this direction, sort of towards the future, but in reverse yet again. So it could be sort of the foreshadowing, right? The desire to, wanting, almost practicing. Look, like in the mirror, right? Looks like the dove is looking in the mirror and sort of speaking to herself in a way, right? Practicing how she is or he is to express her emotions in a wise way, in a tempered way, okay, in a way that speaks really the truth, and is in harmony with this next stage and this manifestation of fire energy that connects to their truth, their passion, right? And beneath the Emperor, right, as we said, is the sort of Hanged Man in reverse. So upright, the Hanged Man speaks to suspension, right? Very much the feeling that we visited in the Eight of Swords, right? The feeling of suspension, waiting, right? Being impending, sort of dependent on the natural cycle that needs to take place from night to day, okay? This Hanged Man is sort of hanging, waiting, right? With eyes open, staying up at night, knowing, right? Knowing the natural cycle. Kind of as I said, I feel you guys do have an inherent underlying intuitive understanding of the process and what needs to happen and how it will progress. But there was sort of a stagnation, right? A lack of movement forward that now sort of you're awakening to, okay? And I think this is really speaking to the newfound awareness. It's almost as if the bat is now standing tall, just like the Emperor, right? Standing tall, proud. This is sort of a hideaway feeling, right? Hiding away, reclusion. Okay, now standing up, looking at things head on, being straightforward, right? Looking at something with a lot more clarity in terms of your truth, in terms of how you really feel and your intuition. Okay, so there is movement that's being made. There's progress, right? The standstill is now being moved through, okay? And I think this is also speaking to the need for you to transform your situation, to take action, okay? Look at the situation head on. Okay. Wake up. That's the feeling I'm getting. Wake up from a sort of reclusion. Okay? Even if it's difficult, even if you feel that all odds are against you, even if you feel someone disenchanted, maybe even, right? Even if you fear the return, the revival of sort of this feeling of being vulnerable to yourself even, right? Wake up to sort of your power, your intuition, your desire, what you really want, and go for it. Fly up. Okay? Stand tall in the dark. That's what I'm getting, okay? Even if you don't know everything, even if you can't reason through everything, sometimes, right, you need to take that optimistic approach, that hopeful approach, the intuitive approach, okay? And that is the very card in the thematic spread that we have here, right? This impending need to step into the High Priestess energy, right? To take that really intuitive approach. Okay, so thank you so much, Scorpio. I know that that was somewhat long and drawn out, but I felt that there was a lot to say. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this reading resonated with you guys. Feel free to leave your comments below and let me know how it clicked with you. I will be back hopefully within the next week or two with your mid-month February reading. So feel free to stay tuned until then, and I'll see you soon, Scorpio. Thanks so much. Bye.